Hello, everyone, and welcome to English 1B for fall 2025 semester. I am your professor, Jessica Tancredi, and when you first log in and click on our class from your Canvas dashboard, this is the homepage that you will see. And so in this video, I'm just going to be going over kind of some basics about how our class will run here on Canvas, what you can expect, and also discuss the first week of assignments. So um, here you will see this video right on the front page. Below that, I will tell you what week we are in, and then you will click on this weekly page to view the week's schedule of readings and assignments. Below that, we have a couple links. So this quick links page will take you to some helpful resources like my website, my YouTube channel, where all of these weekly videos will basically live. They will live on the weekly page, but they'll also be there. My office hours, which are still to be determined, I'm waiting on approval for those. And then we have essays and writing assignments, links directly to those assignments, extra credit, and some miscellaneous resources for you. All right, if we scroll back down, I also have a link called resources. And this includes writing and class resources, so specifically MLA formatting resources, a couple different like writing. This Purdue Online Writing Lab is a really great resource for all things writing and English and essays and research papers. We also have the Chafee Library page here that will give you some helpful tips and resources for research, grammar resources, a link to the Success Center, and then another, writing help. And then for Chafee as a whole, we have Chafee and online course resources. So if this is your first class that you're taking using Canvas and an online class, you can check out this Intro to Canvas for Students. We also have the Student Support Hub, which is also accessible over here on the left-hand side, the Student Support button. You can access all of the Chafee College resources from that area. And then a couple other things here that you're welcome to look through. All right, back to the home page at the very bottom, just some information about me, who I am, the Canvas inbox over here. That's the best way to contact me. You can also email me directly. This is my Chafee email, and then I do have a Chafee voicemail. You can leave me a message there. However, I do not check that very often. So the inbox or email is the best way to reach me. I generally try to reply within 24 hours, but I do have three kids and, life can get in the way sometimes. So if it's a little bit longer than that, especially on the weekends, that's just the way that it is. I do try to reply as soon as possible, though. Um, when you are also on the homepage, you'll see over here, you'll see a to-do list. These are assignments that you need to submit something for. So definitely keep this in mind. But sometimes on the weekly page, which we will get to in just a moment, I may ask you to read something or watch something that you don't have to submit anything for, and then it won't show up here on your to-do list. So please make sure that you are clicking on the weekly page each week, reading through everything, hopefully watching the video. I know sometimes people don't like to watch the videos because they're short on time, but oftentimes I am explaining things in more detail and maybe answering questions that might come up as you go about doing the assignments. So um, if you have questions about something, watch the weekly video first, then feel free to send me a message. Okay, over here on the left, you will see announcements. We have a link to the syllabus, tutoring support, grades, and there's a search function as well. I may make other things visible over here as we go on, but this is it for now. The syllabus, this is where you want to begin. If you have not already read the course syllabus, I did send that in an email to everybody, but you can also access it here by clicking on this link. It lives in Google Docs, and um, one of your assignments this week is to thoroughly read through the syllabus. Um, Also, some information about the readings. You don't have to acquire any books for this class, but we will be using an online open educational resource as our textbook by Lumen Learning. It's called English Composition 2. A note about homework assignments, I will often have you annotate or take notes for readings. So just a little note about that. There will be more information about that in the week one assignments. And then there is a video in which I walk you through the syllabus. This is actually, I think this was recorded last fall, but all of the basic information is the same. So you're welcome to watch this if you kind of want a little bit more in-depth explanation and, step-by-step walkthrough of the syllabus. All right, let's go back home and click on the week one page. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to leave student view here so that I can show you this. Okay, so every week you will have assignments due by Friday and Monday. So always Fridays you'll have something due, and Mondays you will have something due. Again, the weekly video will appear here at the top of the page. And this note is very important. So it says, please prioritize doing the assignments in the order that they are listed, because it is important for you to have read certain pages and articles before completing other assignments and contributing to discussions. So just kind of work your way down the list. Start with number one, move to number two, three, four, etc. Okay, so please watch this video, which you are doing if you're hearing me speak right now. The syllabus and books page, or the syllabus page over here. Click and read through that. There is an extra credit opportunity, so there's a hidden Easter egg. It's not a literal Easter egg, it's just like a hidden direction, and follow that direction and you can get extra credit. Please take a look at this communication plan. Let's see, just to get a sense for how I will be contacting you, how you'll be interacting with your classmates, and how you can contact me. The Canvas student app. So probably a lot of you already have this Canvas student app, but please download the app on your smartphone. It's completely free, and you just are going to submit proof that you've downloaded the app. Just screenshot that and upload your picture here. If you don't have a smartphone, you can either comment on this assignment or just send me a message and just say, I don't have a smartphone or anywhere to download this app, and then I will excuse you from the assignment. Okay, so Canvas student app, there's that. And then your Canvas profile picture. So if I go back to the view as student, you can see there's like this sad little gray person image here. And I don't want to see that. I want to see either you, or I want to see something that you feel best represents you. So if you don't feel comfortable putting a picture of yourself, that's fine. But please put some picture there so that I can kind of identify your name with a picture and not just a sad little gray person image. Okay, next is the introductions discussion. So please read through the discussion board guidelines before you post, just how grading can be expected to go, guidelines, sample posts and replies. It doesn't exactly apply to the introductions discussion, but you still need to know these things for future. And once you've read all of that, please enter your name below so that you are basically agreeing to follow um, these directions and guidelines, and that you understand what is going to get you full credit on a discussion. All right, back to week one. Then you're going to answer the questions and post in this introductions discussion. So these answers I would like for you to submit by Friday, September 5th. and then you're going to reply to two classmates before midnight. So this is a very informal, just kind of getting to know your classmates, see who else is in the class, what they're interested in, a little bit about them, their background, their interests, things like that. Okay, next you're going to read the critical thinking page. So this is one of those pages that is not an assignment, so it's not going to show up on your to-do list, but it's super important for you to read this page and to understand what critical thinking is and what it looks like, because this is an advanced composition and critical thinking class. So these principles are going to be the foundation of what we're working on and discussing and writing about this semester. So it's not too long. Please read that. And I would also, sorry, suggest that you take notes as you read. You should ideally have a notebook dedicated to this class where you can keep all of your notes for all of your readings. Or maybe you have like a folder in a Google Drive or something for all of your work for this class. All right, finally, so this is all due Friday. Okay, I know it looks like a lot, but a lot of this stuff is pretty easy, simple. You're reading something. Um, a lot of these things you don't have to submit anything for. So I mean, I guess you could just not do it in anyway because you don't have to submit anything for it. But I hope you don't do that. I hope you do take the time to go through each of these things and read them because they're important. I don't put them here just for fun. There is a purpose. So, next is going to be the types of claims page, and then there's a quiz. So, in this class, we will be focusing on argumentative writing, persuasive writing, and these arguments are driven by claims. So, there's a variety of different types of claims. We are going to be focusing on three types in this class: fact, value, and policy. So please read through this. It's going to give you some examples of different types of thesis statements for these claims. And then you're going to take a short quiz at the end. Um, you can take it multiple times if you need to. It's worth, I think, 8 or 10 points. So pretty low stakes just to kind of test your knowledge at the end of reading that. All right. So that's all Friday, September 5th. And I generally, especially this week, it's a shorter week. So if you need a couple extra days for some things here, that's okay. So still do it. Okay, Monday, September 8th. There is an active reading assignment. So you're going to read and watch all of the content on the active reading page. And then I'm recording a video. Ask your dad. So you're going to read all of the content on this page, and there are 5 sections. What is active reading? How to annotate, how to take notes, and how to complete and submit annotations or notes with some examples, how to use Cam Scanner, and then some self-reflection questions. So please answer those questions, read, watch everything, and answer the questions, and submit your answers to those questions. I'd also like for you to read this module 1, asking questions. There's a total of 14 pages here or articles. Some of them are quite short, like this. But asking questions is a foundational skill of critical thinking. So it's very important that we have this as our foundation as we get started. So you're going to read those articles. You don't have to submit anything. You're also going to read the assignment page for essay one. So, essay one is a claim of fact essay. You do not need to submit anything. You're just reading the essay. You can also watch this video that I recorded talking in more detail about this essay and what you need to do. Um, but you're just basically familiarizing yourself with the assignment, the requirements, what you're going to have to do. There are some essay examples here as well. There's also a rubric down at the bottom, which is how I will be grading you. Okay. After that, you're going to watch this short lecture called Paradigms and Perceptions. You're going to take notes because you'll need to use those notes. Please watch the lecture. Then you're going to complete the paradigms activity. So please read through this, complete the activity. Oops, wrong page. And yes, back up to that introductions discussion, which was up here. You're going to reply to two classmates. And then there is a extra credit opportunity, and you can follow my educational account on Instagram if you are on Instagram. If not, no worries. There will be other extra credit opportunities. So, yes, basically that paradigms activity, we are going to continue talking about paradigms the following week, week two, which is also published. You should have access to this. You can go ahead and get a head start on these assignments if you would like to, but we will continue talking about paradigms, and that is going to be another important part of learning about critical thinking and understanding people's viewpoints and why they might think a certain way, and how we can try and change someone else's paradigm or someone else's point of view. All right. I know that seems like a lot, but in week one, there's also just a lot of like small things, housekeeping things. It will not be that much work every week. So don't be intimidated. Do your best. And if you need anything, please click over on the inbox and send me a message. All right. I'm here to help, and I hope you guys have a great first week. Bye bye.